Hey, who's in here with me? Hold on. Y'all know I'm so terrible with doing this. It's ridiculous. I should know how to do this by now, right? Okay, let's see who's in here with me. Hey, hi, New Waves. I like that name, Reginald. Mmm. Yeah, yeah. That's definitely. At first, that's what I wanted to do. And then I was like, part of me breaking down the matrix programming required me to change my diet. Hey, sister. Hey, Zaria. Oh, yes. So, okay. So part of this, I'm just gonna let this information stream. I'm gonna aside what I wanted to talk to you all about, which was this: the things, the products. Is this one, this one, right here. That's silver and coconut oil, of course. But anyway, I felt like telling the whole story was going to make more sense as to why I'm using those products. It does have something to do with me breaking from the programming of being a prisoner in the matrix. Okay, the first thing you have to do. Oh, hi, Anita. Hey, Derek. Derek, we've been praying for you. My husband has been praying for you. His prayers for you have been just very genuine. And I'm not going to talk about what we specifically been praying for on your behalf. It was something just the Spirit whispered in my ear. So go to my inbox or something so maybe we can talk tomorrow or any day that you're free, and we'll get a chance to see what's going on in your life and see if the prayers are being answered on your end. So, yeah. Um, oh, hey, Erica. Yeah, so look, I'm finna bring it today. I don't know if y'all, the old church women that preach, and I think it's somebody on YouTube that says that, but yeah, I grew up in church hearing them say that. Okay, the first thing you have to do to break out of the matrix is get over everything you thought you knew. You have to get over all of that. Let it go. Let it go. If you are studying and listening to lectures, but you have not deprogrammed from the things that you are now finding out are pagan, or just a very wrong interpretation, or it was just misunderstood and tradition passed it down as a religious practice, or you learned it when you were a child, but now you're beginning to ask questions that you couldn't ask as a child. So now it's opening your mind up to all of these new things, right? You got to deal with that. You got to say, okay, what do I believe in now about God? Who is God? What is his name? Who is his people? Who aren't his people? Is that a real thing? Where did that come from? Why do the 12 Israelites, these tribes, well, where did that come from? What was the origin of that? Who started the 12 tribes? Was it Jacob or was it Abraham? Well, let me go back and look. You have to do that. That's the attitude you have to have when you're seeking truth. Say these questions out loud. Now, wait a minute. So, Laban is Jacob's uncle. His uncle sold the unattractive daughter to him, and he obviously didn't want her after he seen her. He made it clear. So Laban said, I'll give you my other daughter, the one you really wanted, the pretty one. He had to serve 7 more years, right? Just to get the pretty one. He was having sex with both of these women, of course. One he liked, one he didn't. Some would say that that's a bit of, I don't know. When I was in Christianity, I thought that was fine. Now that I look back, I say, Jacob seems to be one of those men who does not know how to respect women. How does a man say to you, these are ceremonial rituals. This is the way we get married. but you're not attractive. I want your sister, I don't want you. That's heartbreaking, right? So you begin just going back and looking at the Bible characters, looking at the things that they did, and calling it for what it is. Learning how I had to learn how to call things just as they were. So instead of me saying, "Oh, mighty Jacob," his name was changed to Israel, and such a great man of God, and blah blah blah. But then I had to say, "Man, Jacob broke Leah's heart over and over again. She even prayed to open her womb to give him children, and he still didn't love her. He should have not had two wives who are sisters, one he loved and he don't, because that's a lot of trauma for those women. That's very traumatic, and that's traumatic for the children as well. And just to prove the trauma that was happening in that situation, that wasn't a holy thing happening. That was traumatic, because a lot of us have been through it. We have had fathers who had other women. We've had mothers who have had other men or women. And we've been in situations. We've gotten divorced because somebody thinks somebody else is attractive. And you always think the grass green on the other side. Like, come on, yeah, we can relate to this stuff, right? So you have to start looking at it through that eye. Instead of it being Jacob, it's little John you went to school with. Then go back and read it. And I was astounded at the revelations I was coming to. Matter of fact, I wrote it down. Let me find this for you. I wasn't planning on getting into this part, but y'all, somebody must really need to hear this, because y'all about to bring the line out. And I'm definitely not Cookie. Okay, let me find this. Okay, which one of them couldn't stop having sex? I want to say it was Saul. Was it Saul or was it David? Maybe not Saul. Maybe it was David. Let's see. Okay, David. Here we go. Give me a moment, y'all, because y'all don't want to miss this when I'm finna read. When I find this. Okay. 17, I need 18. 2, 13. Okay, here we go. Okay. God, I wrote a lot about this, y'all. I can't wait to see what y'all think about it. It was Isaiah, Joseph, David. Okay, here we go. I found it. Yay. Okay. I found it. Okay, so this is what, I'm just going to read to you what I wrote, okay? I was watching Brother Jabari, and in a video, if you have never heard of Brother Jabari, go check him out. He's someone I lean to draw information about history, and he seems to be pretty accurate. I hadn't found anything that he said that was wrong. So when someone is giving you new information, stuff you've never heard before, of course you're going to go and check the sources and come back. And every source that I checked, this man has been 100 the whole way. He said this. He says, this was a revelation coming to me as he was speaking. We had to Africanize our ideology before getting into metaphysics. And, because me and Ernest are more so studying metaphysics, metaphysics is actually spirituality. But it's spirituality without all of the bells and the whistles and stuff. It's very stripped down, okay? So before doing that, we had to Africanize our Europeanized ideologies of faith. So that's why the Creator allowed us to go through the Hebrew Israelite time. And we studied really, really hard with you all and by ourselves. We did. We went as hard for that as we did for Christianity. But these were meant to be stages for us. They were not meant to be the all that ends all. We weren't supposed to stop there. When you're seeking spirituality, true spirituality, when you're seeking for truth, you never stop. If you come to a point and you completely stop, you're not seeking truth. You found something that felt comfortable, or you found something that you feel like you could relate to, and you got comfortable there. For some people, that's Islam. For some people, that's Buddhism. For some people, that's being a Hebrew Israelite. For some people, it's going back to the church. You know, it's a lot of different things. And for some people, you kind of feeling like an atheist. You don't know what to believe in because there's so many people on YouTube doing videos and stuff, and it's just lies. You know, it's like, it's some truth too. And it's like, who do I trust? How can I study when there's 1,000 different ideas about this one person or this one thing? So this is what led us to metaphysics. And we were led. This was not by choice, okay? We were definitely led to metaphysics. So after we Africanized our European minds, okay, we became Hebrew Israelites, and that was a stepping stone or a bridge to metaphysics, which was given to us by our ancestors. Now, metaphysics is what our ancestors used, okay? This is how they healed their bodies. This is how they raised their children. A village to raise a child. We're doing everything the European way. We're not doing anything our ancestors' way. So the best way for us to reach true spirituality would be to go back to our roots. And if you all disagree with that, I don't know why I can't argue with that point, but not right now in this video. But you have to go back to the roots. So me and Ernest have decided to go back to the roots. It makes sense. Why would I keep climbing up on a tree? And I haven't even climbed down the tree to identify the roots, to identify the seed, to identify the ground, to identify the origins of this tree. You can't believe in something and go hard for it until it has been fully and thoroughly a scholarly investigation has been done with a neutral mindset, no preconceived notions, because when you take those with you into your search for the truth, you defile the truth by the things that you're wanting to hold on to. So truly spiritual people, number one, the way that you break out of the matrix is you are willing to tear down everything you thought you knew and rebuild with a solid foundation. You're not going to try to build it on the foundation you already have, okay? See, that's just a bunch of mess because you got a little Christian in the foundation. You might have a little Islam in the foundation, a little bit of Hebrew Israelite in the foundation. I listen to Brother Panic sometimes. I listen to Bobby Hemmett sometimes. He talked about the boule and blah, blah. You might have a little bit of that, a little bit of that. That's not a strong foundation because first, you got to deconstruct before you can reconstruct. You have to deprogram before you can reprogram. And sometimes in excitement, we do not pace ourselves and we don't do it correctly. So the first thing that I would say to do is to decompress, deconstruct so that you can reconstruct the truth. That has been very helpful for us. So you might want to jot that one down because that one is what got the ball rolling for us. Okay, now, I said I wasn't going to do this because I felt like a lot of our Remnants Gathering people are still in the vibration of the Hebrew Israelite thing and identifying with that. Maybe you all aren't ready to go into metaphysics, which is spirituality. It's just studying all spirituality, finding the common denominator in them and kind of like, but you're not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. So of course you're going to still use the Bible. Okay. But this is just studying for purposes of truth without any preconceived notions, and you're not going into it with an expected outcome. Okay, never do that. You can't. A true reporter, researcher, scholar does not go into an ancient dig with an expected outcome, nor does he go into it thinking he already knows what's in it. Right? That's the proper way to discern and investigate something, especially when it affects your soul. And whatever affects you affects those around you. So don't forget, it's a very serious thing to take serious, being on this journey, because we're doing something that hasn't been done. Our moms and our mom's mom, they weren't doing this. They were okay with what they had been given. Okay? But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to post this on the blog. We've been really quiet because we've kind of been in a chrysalis right now. We want to make sure that we're bringing correct information to you all. So we've just been studying, and you're going to see us more soon. We want to ease people into these things. And we also are trying to figure out a way to do the studies and make them where they're enjoyable. Don't have to bore you to death, because we ain't trying to have a Lazarus situation. So I am going to post these links and videos of people I have been able to draw revelation from while listening to them. Okay. All right. Now, this is what I wrote. The Bible says Jesus/God is inside of us. We are the temple. We are little gods, and the kingdom of God has come into us, and we are a part of it. So this is why we should be living as gods, not to serve and give our life force, energy, and essence to the gods I mentioned above. The only difference between what we are now practicing and what we were practicing is the fact that we know who these gods really are. We know how they operate. We know who created them, what cultures began teaching the masses to follow these gods. And we are drawing energy from them instead of giving our energy to them. Serving something, serving anything, even serving a god, that is a slave mindset, which keeps us spiritually in a slave frequency. So to elaborate on that, because I'm sure you all are probably wondering a lot of stuff, but the Bible itself, it lets us know who we are. It lets us know that we were made in the image of God. We were called gods with a little g. I am aware. It told us that the kingdom of heaven is inside of us, right? We were told that Christ, his mind, is inside of us, right? We were told that we were on a mission, right? We were also told that we would do greater works than even Christ has done, right? Those are some pretty huge things, but those are definitely God characteristics. We should not be serving. We should be learning to know thyself, because if the kingdom of heaven exists inside of you, how can you learn about heaven unless you learn about yourself? I'm going to let y'all taste on that for a minute and try to get that down. It's really, you have to learn to know yourself. And what I'm finding is I didn't know myself because every belief system that I ever went through created myself. So now I'm having to find myself, because that, when I was singing in the choir, that wasn't who I really was. I was doing it because they told me I sounded good, I could sing, and they needed me. So, who are you, Campson? I'm a choir singer. I'm a Christian with a Christian choir. I lost my identity. I had no clue who I was. I didn't know my purpose, you know? Um, so if God is inside of you, if Christ's mind is inside of you, if you are made in his image, and if you're going to do greater works than he did, guess what? You are God. Now, what does that mean? This is what that means. And it's not complicated. It's very simple. And it's not being dogmatic. It's not heresy, any of that. See, all of that was old programming. And because we're in the age of Aquarius now, the age of Pisces, which is two fish, which is connected to Christianity, and I can tell you more about that later and what that really is, because that's the worship of doggone. See, the people who created Christianity don't even worship the deities they created. They worship African deities. They worship Indian deities, Kemetic deities, okay? In secret rooms, even pastors in the United States don't really worship who they say they worship, okay? They know that they are gods. That's why they have jets and $1 million homes and islands and these $1 million churches. Just filthy rich, because they're using laws that they are not telling you all about. They know how to work with other gods, which are just energies that are greater than, you know, the typical. There are levels. There are archangels. There are gods and goddesses. You also have low vibrational entities, which are just low vibrational energies from people who died in really traumatic ways, children who were killed, things like that. That leaves their soul kind of an imprint of the soul is still here. That's a whole nother video we have to talk about. But I'm saying this to say you got to figure out who you are. Who are you? What is your purpose in life? Because religion misconstrued all of us. Religion gave us their own purpose and made us think it was ours. Religion gave us their own beliefs and made them feel that they were ours. But many of us who were called to the truth, who were called to something higher than any religion on this earth, people who were called to be spiritual, always knew was something not right. But we were told not to question God. Now that we're grown, we're trying to figure it out. But it can get frustrating and confusing because you don't know who to trust. You know, you got some crews being pedophiles out here. Ain't gonna name no names. You know, it's a lot going on. And not even just with the Hebrew Israelites. It's a lot going on in the conscious community, period, including Christianity. But all of that is happening because your true spiritual self, your higher self, the voice that you hear when you get ready to step out in the street and you hear that voice say, don't step out in the street, and it's a car coming and you almost get hit. That voice, yeah, that's a real voice. That gives you guidance through life to help you. And when you start hearing that voice say, something not right about this church. Okay, I was down with this Hebrew Israelite crew, but they starting to seem very abusive towards the women, you know. They seem very arrogant and prideful. That's not a fruit that I want to have. Once you start noticing that, then guess what? You got to start doing. You got to start reading things and allowing it to be interpreted to you with help of the spirit guides. You can call on spirit guides. We all have them. We all have someone assigned to us to help us through life. Whether your spirit guide is just an archangel, you can have up to 4 archangels depending on your life and how rough your life has been. You know, but this stuff was hid from us. So there are tools that we can be using to help us maneuver throughout the matrix, but without those tools, you will not get out. So I just had to expound on that. Okay, let's see. Let me see what's next. Hold on. And then I'm going to look at some questions because I'm sure you all have plenty. Sometimes my phone just asking it to do. This is so weird. All accounts. I'm searching through my notes, y'all, and it's not letting me pull my notes up. Oh well, that's okay. So I'll just do it from my head because I don't want to waste time looking for it. Okay. So after doing that, you should be changing your diet as well. If you're going to study hard, like we've been, like literally hibernating in books and lectures, make sure that you're eating the right things. If you don't eat the right things, if you're eating a lot of processed food, fried food, sugar, that includes brown sugar because it's not healthier because it's brown. White rice, a lot of the things Dr. Sebi mentioned we should not be eating. That's a spiritual diet, okay? And when you increase the alkalinity to between 7 and 8 within the body, it allows the body to function better as a whole, which means it's going to begin decalcifying your pineal gland so that your third eye, your spiritual eye, will become more sensitive, okay? To discern things. It will become more intuitive, okay? So if you haven't done that yet, just refer back to some of those diets. There's plenty of videos. I think I probably did one about it. And see what you can work with what's on the food list and begin there. Because what happens, if you're eating, food has frequencies just like everything else does, right? You can actually use a meter to measure frequencies of foods, crystals, clothes, music. Everything has a frequency. And so if the food you're eating is very low frequency, you might as well be listening to the worst of the worst rock and roll, metal, heavy metal, death metal. It's like you're eating death metal. You're eating something that has a very low frequency. So you can't expect to be able to discern the information that I'm giving you if you're not giving your temple what it needs to function. I just told you that you are God and your body is your temple. And one of the characteristics of God is that they are disciplined in their diet. Stop thinking about don't think about the God sitting up in the clouds somewhere looking down on us. I mean, as a God, we know that gods operate with sovereignty and discipline, right? So we may not be perfect, and it's not about being perfect, but it's about saying, how can I have more fruits and characteristics like this? That's what it's about. And so once you start eating your avocados, I got a grapefruit here I had cut, I was gonna eat, y'all see that? I have a juicer here and a smoothie machine here. I keep these. This is like a little snack. I keep these for my snack. No more chips and stuff. I got rid of all of that. I can show y'all everything in my kitchen. Literally. I just got rid of it. That's how much my heart desired the truth. And once I started doing that, so that would be the next thing to break out of the matrix, okay? I'm not going to do a recap because I'm just letting this information just flow through me. So, yeah, if you need to, you can just rewind the video and jot it down and go from there, whatever. The next thing that I would say is very important is to begin cleaning out your life, cleaning out your house. If you have things that you don't use anymore, maybe some old books that you now know they are pagan, which basically you're just saying this is something that doesn't resonate with me anymore. Get rid of it. Because you're keeping it, is keeping that energy around you and in your house. So if you're studying something to deprogram yourself from those things, but you still have all of those things in your home, what do you think is going to happen? There's like a clash. There's like tension in the house. So because everything has a frequency, even those books have a frequency. And if you're not on that frequency anymore, then those books just being in your home will be combative with you spiritually, even if you're not reading them. just them being there and them giving off the frequency that they're on. And if you've raised above that, get rid of those and get books for where you are now. Listen to lectures for where you are now. Okay? That would be the next thing that I would say to break out of the matrix. I'm trying to give you all some stuff that you don't hear everybody else say. One other thing that was really important to break out of the matrix was I prayed a prayer, and this prayer was this. It went like this. Forgive me, for I knew not what I do. Forgive me, because I have been double-minded and confused. I have no idea where heaven is. Is heaven real? Is heaven in me? If the kingdom of heaven is in me, then isn't heaven in me? I don't know. I need help to find the truth. And I am willing to lay down everything that I thought I knew for the truth in its place. I prayed that prayer. And I tell you, when me and Ernest prayed that prayer, stuff started moving at quantum speed. There were books, and I'm not big on math, but there were quantum books and quantum psychology that I would pick up and read, and I would be like, oh, that's in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't exactly worded, but it was kind of the same, strategy of achieving something. And that's when I realized the Bible, the Biblios Helios, that is a son book, not S-O-N, S-U-N book. That's what the Bible is, a son book. Helios is son in Greek. So that's a son book. Biblios, of course, is book. So what does that say? All through the Bible it says, don't worship the sun, don't worship the sun. But then it says, but watch the sun, watch it so you can discern the times. And to know that the front of the book says sun book, well, guess what? That's a clue for you. That's a clue that, you know what? Let me see how many similarities. Let me see how many similarities there are between the Bible and astronomy. That was my next question with that. I'm sorry. Some of these commercials and stuff just be so loud. I think they're trying to mess up our ears. On top of everything else, they want us to be deaf. Okay. I've said a lot. I think those were some good tips to get you all started on. So let me address any comments or anything like that with you all. Let me go through those. And then I'm going to give you all the recipe for the toothpaste that I use. Because you got to get the heavy metal out of your body. Heavy metal clogs up all of the glands that are needed to be able to increase your intuition, increase your spiritual abilities, okay? So you got to get rid of the heavy metal. And actually, I'm going to be selling this soon. So if you all would like to get some of it, let me show you. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. Ignore that. Okay. I'm going to be selling some soon. So if you all want to order some, just let me know, okay? You got our email, KHAM2479 at gmail.com. I'm sorry. Yeah, so just hit us up and let us know, hey, I want to get some toothpaste. Okay, so let's see. Do we have any questions? You definitely know how to bring it. Let me calm down. Tell the truth, Queen. Tell them to stop running from themselves. Oh, Lucky 7. Hey, Lucky 777712. I didn't know you were in here. Good to see you. Yeah. Okay, looks like a lot of people kind of feeling where I'm coming from. Yes, the conscious community needs a major rebuild. And that rebuild is going to happen with us. With people. Because this was my question. When I began this journey, I did not start this journey hoping that it would end somewhere else. That's just where the truth led me, right? And so I was like, well, why in the hell did I spend all my time in church all these years? I feel like I done wasted my life. I done wasted my time and wasted my money. You know what I'm saying? And I heard such a sweet voice say, no, Camson, You had to go the long way through the wilderness. So all of the people who are still in the wilderness, in the matrix, you will be able to speak to them. You will speak their language. You will be able to answer their questions because you have worshiped as they worship. You prayed as they prayed. You gave tithes as they did. You ate the diet of Leviticus just as they did. You covered your hair as they did. So who better to speak to them than someone who has already been through those steps? So that's why it went in the order it went in, y'all. Y'all know I can't make that up. Okay, we must come out of the third dimension mindsets. That's right, Zaria. How do you know if you have more deconstruction to do? Find yourself, don't serve the Bible taught will of God, but call upon your spirit guides for direction and finding yourself and how to live. Right. It's all about the spirit guides. It is all about the spirit guides. You know, y'all have to realize, oh, hey, Tarika. I'm so glad you're on here, sister. Hey, Vishal. Hey, Dina. It's so good to see y'all. Yeah, so if y'all want some toothpaste, just let me know, okay? And I will make sure I get some made and get you all some. So what happens is, we were given deities. We were given the Holy Spirit. We were given the stories of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And we were given his God, right? Their God. But what happened, the ones that really help us, we didn't have any knowledge of. Even though we don't have knowledge of them, they still know who we are. And they are still helping us. Let me tell you how I found this out. In one of my meditations, because I started meditating. That's the last one. Meditate. Me and Ernest call it meta pray. And the reason we call it meta pray is because we're still praying, okay? But we're not praying looking up, hoping for an answer to come from above in some special circumstance. We're praying within the kingdom of heaven within us, within the God within us, within the Christ consciousness within us. We pray within. So whereas I used to say, oh, Lord, help me find a new job, right? Now I pray and I say, I call on my spirit guides, even the ones I haven't acknowledged, who have been with me since I was born. Help me, guide me to the job that I need to have. You pray that way, right? Or you could say, I need protection. I call on the Archangel Michael. I need you to protect me and my children. We are in a dangerous situation. I don't know what to do. I'm just calling on you for protection, right? And learning who your guardian angel is. It's based on your birthday. So there are plenty of websites you can type in your birthday and it'll tell you who your specific guardian angel is. But as I said, many times, a lot of people who've had a rough life have up to 4, okay? So those would be the next steps that I didn't mention before, okay? I meditated and meta-prayed. And meta-pray is kind of where I meditate, then I pray. I meditate again, then I pray. And through that process, what it does is it clears out my mind. It helps me to disconnect from my body because I may be in pain or sick that day, or just my stomach hurting, my head hurting, my blood pressure high, my nerves bad, my sugar high. I ate some stuff I knew I shouldn't have been eating and now I feel sick. All kinds of stuff. So meditating before I pray, it helps me to just be in a quiet, calm, zen space in my mind so that I can hear what's being spoken to me, and so that with my third eye I can see what's being shown to me in my meditations. And in this first meditation, if you all would like to do this meditation, I'm gonna take this meditation and send it to you all in the email. So make sure you're on the email list. If you're not, get on there. Lucky777. I don't know if you're on our email list, Vashai, but if someone could put the email up for me, that would be great. Because I'm sure a few of you aren't on the email list. So I'm gonna get into what these guides are. Okay, Dina? And I know you're probably not the only one who want to know. So in this meditation, I was basically sitting under a tree, and it's a voice guided meditation. Once you get good at it, you won't need the voice guided, but that's for beginners. That's a really good place to start. And so in the meditation, they say you're walking through the woods, a very ancient woods. The trees are bigger than the trees they are now. So, you're kind of like in an ancient time setting, and you're in the woods alone. There's this beautiful river streaming by, and in the video, they play the sound of the river. So it really helps you to visualize that river being there. So I sat down under the tree. This was my very first one. I sat down under the tree, and she says, now your spirit guides, they know you're here. So you can begin thinking of what it is you need guidance about. What would you like to ask them? So I'm thinking, I'm like, man, I can't break this down to one question. I got a million questions. I just found out that these Negroes exist. I'm just like, okay, let me hear up and think of something. So I'm trying to think of a question. I'm like, what can I ask? It's got to be something huge. It's got to be something big. It's got to be the biggest question in the world. I don't know why I was like this. I guess because, coming out of religion and it's new. I don't know. And so I finally thought of my question. And my question was, am I going to be able to heal myself and heal other people? Because that's what I've been working on also. And that's why I haven't been doing a lot of videos, because a lot of my time is going to that. I want to be able to make products as well for people, natural products to heal you of all kinds of things. So I've been studying that as well. And if it weren't for these meditations and my spirit guides, I wouldn't be doing none of this. And I'm starting to think this is my purpose. This is one of my purposes in life. This is my calling. Because I really do like to help people, especially with medical situations, mental, emotional, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so I'm sitting under the tree, and she's like, okay, your spirit guide is going to enter soon. And so I turn around, and I could feel somebody standing behind me. I was so shocked. I'm laying with my eyes closed, and I'm like, yo. I'm trying to get my husband's attention. Babe. So retarded. And and she was just like, if other things are going on in the background or other thoughts are coming in, just ignore them. Let it just roll over your head. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm messing up. Let me be quiet, get back in the zone. So I got quiet. I got back in the zone. And I see a tribal leader, a man. He tall, very, very strong build. I want to say maybe Native American-ish with the description. And he had a woman with him, and he had some children with him, and a few other adults, which were probably uncles and aunts and brothers, but you could tell it was a community. It was a village, and they looked very happy. They did. They looked very happy to see me. And so it was almost like they had been waiting for me to get to the point where I could even access them, where I'm even comfortable to come to a place in my mind for them to be able to give me guidance, right? And I said, I want to be able to heal people, and I'm practicing on myself first. I said, sickle cell is a disease that cannot be healed, but I believe it can. And I tried to do it through Jesus, and it didn't work. Every other religion, everything else I tried didn't work. So this is kind of my last chance, Am I going to be successful at this? He said to me, yes. He says, you have shamans in your bloodline, my dear. He says, but you have been far removed from your land. You have been removed from your culture. You have been removed from your name. You don't know any ceremonial rituals. And that stuff has been toxic for you. Because you were in that mindset, you accepted all kinds of things to heal you. From prayers to Jesus and giving large amounts of money to people because they said if anybody give $5,000 they'll be healed. I did that. I did that for years. I've always been consistent in whatever it is I'm believing in at that time. I try to be as consistent as possible and disciplined. So I did that. He said, did any of those things work for you? I said, no. He says, and so now we're here where you're using herbs and natural things. He said, that's what you were supposed to have been doing from the beginning. But we can't come to you and just begin giving you this. He says, first of all, you're not going to hear us, right? You'll probably rebuke us because the teachings of Christianity and Hebrew Israelite made it seem as if we're demons. But no, we're here and we're here to help you. He also said that he gave me some more specific, detailed, private things that I need to work on. And he told me, he says, you will succeed because it's in your blood. He says, this is what I want you to do. You need to remember to remember. I was like, what? Like, okay, Alice in Wonderland. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I thought about it. When I came out of then they left, just poof. When I came out of the meditation, I was like, let me write that down. I need to remember what I forgot to truly remember. And I got it. I said, okay. So he's basically saying, I need to get back to the roots. I need to get back to the roots. How did we heal before the pharmaceutical companies? And that resonated huge with me. I didn't feel there was nothing evil about that. I didn't feel like something happened with that I was dealing with a demon or dead people or anything like that. That right there changed my whole life. The life-changing thing that I have been searching for many years, I found it in a simple 20-30 minute meditation and got answers to something that I've been seeking answers for since I was 5 years old, and I'm about to be 39. That's 33 years. Wow, that's pretty symbolic. The 33rd year of me trying to heal my body, I get this huge revelation from a tribal leader who's an ancestor and a spirit guide to me, who's going to help me through this process. That's amazing. See, the Jesus dying at 33, right? That was a parable. He even said himself he taught in parables to keep certain people from understanding and being able to access this knowledge because there's power, right? And so the 33 years, that represents seasons, steps, just like your spinal cord, 33 vertebrae, right? And so you may start off here, just a little kid, don't really know what to believe in. Now you're here and you're choosing to be a Christian, okay. Now you're here and you're like, well, I think I'll just be a Catholic now, Then you're here, you're like, you know what? No, I think Hebrew Israelite resonates with me more. And then you're here and you're like, you know what? I'm in a weird place. I really don't know what resonates with me anymore, but I'm just going to search until I find it, right? You're here. So you're going up the steps of the ladder, which is your spinal cord. Okay, and the 33rd, the reason why that's so important, that's a master number. And so for Jesus to have been crucified at that time, he was able to attain true enlightenment, true ascension. He became the spirit being, right, that he was supposed to be when he was here in a human body. That story teaches you that even though you are in a human body, you can do great things. That's what that was supposed to teach us. That even in the face of tribulation, even in the face of death, you can take death and turn it into an alchemical process where that death actually leads you to a higher place, a higher vibration. See, his blood being spilled in that manner allowed him to create his own reality. It gave him the strength, and it activated something down in his soul, and that's called the ascension, or Jesus rose and resurrected, right? All of that. And so we're having to learn how to ascend, to rise, to resurrect ourselves, because we've been dead. We've been listening to dead music. We've been watching dead movies. We've been watching dead news. We've been living dead lives. We've been worshiping dead deities. We've been believing in eating dead food. I mean, breathing dead air. We've been drinking dead water that's really bad for you. They're actually using human beings' feces to make water. And they have this new purification process that they're using. So now they're taking sewage water and using it as tap water. And if you don't believe that, just Google search it after this video. You'll find plenty of great information about that. So we just drink the water from Whole Foods, the reverse osmosis water or the ionized alkaline water. So yeah, 39 to 69 cents for a gallon is affordable. So there are options, and that's the only water we trust right now. But yeah, so that 33, that's what it was teaching us, you know, and it's not going to be 33 years for everybody. It was just saying that this is the rise happening. See, your spine, think about what your spine does. Your spine holds you up. And so the things that we have been learning are the things that are going to hold us up in times of trial and tribulation. And the more you apply the things that you study into your day-to-day life, the more you rise out of the dust. And we are rising. It's happening. And I didn't even realize that this was the 33rd year from when I began seeking healing. That just hit me just now. That's beautiful. So right now, I'm going through kind of like a Christ consciousness where my mind, and let me explain that. When I say Christ consciousness, when the Bible would say, let this mind be in you that is also in Christ, all that was saying is there is a higher consciousness than the one that we have now. Okay? And the reason they call it Christ consciousness, it comes from Christos. Okay? And Christos, if you go back to the origin, that leads back to Horus. Right? Now, I know it's a lot of bad things about Egypt. But that's what it leads to. And he was like a savior in a way in their mythology, right? But he wasn't a myth so much, but I'm still going to call it mythology right now because I know a lot of you probably have not listened to any lectures by Walter Williams on this topic or Brother Jabari on this topic. So I'm not going to go too deep into that right now. But the point is, what is it that rises up your spinal column? Can anybody tell me? There's a particular animal that has been used as a symbol for ages, and it goes up to the 33 vertebrae. And once it gets to the top, your crown and your third eye is activated, and you are able to live, move, walk, and be the spiritual being you were created to be. Can anybody tell me what animal that is? It's probably a delay, so I'm just waiting to see if anybody know what that animal is. The snake. Yes, Dina, the snake. Yay. Oh, Pretty Boss TV. Hey, girl. Y'all need to go to her channel. When I tell you she has been so implemental for me, she has been such a blessing to me. I don't even know if she knows it. But go to Pretty Boss TV, her channel. I even recommend getting on with her, what is it that you have? You have, her Patreon. She has a Patreon. Okay. So check her out. She helped me get out of the bed one morning when I was dealing with some depression. Yeah, real talk. The serpent. Okay. Most of y'all know. Okay, great. Yes, I would just shout out Pretty Boss TV. I love you, girl. And it's a beautiful thing. I hope we can connect one day because I feel like me and you have a lot to talk about. So yes, it is the snake. Okay. So what's happening, think allegorically, okay? When you read the Bible, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. The Bible is very usable, very good instructions, you know? Yes, I have issues with the Bible, but it's still a really good book to use to gain wisdom. But I was going to say it's the serpent. So in the story, when Jesus finally reached that point and he received his glorified body, guess what? His kundalini had raised to the 33rd vertebrae, which is what allowed him to break out of the matrix, which is what allowed him to break out of the body, the cells in the body, which are prison cells, okay? That's what allowed him to ascend into the ethereal region. That's what that story was about. There were men hung on crosses and trees, but Jesus was not hung on the cross. That story was written by the Marcionites with the help of the dynasty. What's the name of that dynasty? It begins with the Piso dynasty. They assisted him, and so they wrote these allegories because they felt people were too simple-minded to receive them as they were. And they also did it because in their mind moving forward, they knew that they wanted to do slavery at some point. And I believe that they knew that using the Bible would be very implemental in keeping control of the slaves in this new, quote unquote, new land, because we had people here before they got here. You know, I hate to say it, but Caucasians, they just have a reputation of taking other people's things and saying it's theirs. That's so evil. That's just wrong. That's evil. But anyway, that's what happened. So when you hear about the Kundalini, when you see the serpent, deprogram yourself from saying that as meaning evil. The serpent, or Naga, simply represents knowledge. This is why black people affectionately call each other nigga. Nigga comes from Naga. Naga comes from serpent. Serpent means knowledge. Secret, hidden knowledge. Knowledge that most people don't know and a lot of people don't want, because it's going to force them to know thyself. It's going to force them to see themselves for who they really are. And a lot of people can't handle that. So this is also, I'm going to give you something else that's going to validate what I'm saying to you is true. What item, name one item in the Bible that was used to set free millions of our people, the way the story is told. What item? There was one item used in the Bible, and this particular item was able to part the Red Sea. This item was able to bring plagues. This particular item was able to attack Pharaoh's greatest magicians. Do you all know what that item is? Oh, thank you, Zaria. Yeah, look, I'm doing the video because the levels I'm going up is happening so fast. I'm having to do videos to make sure that you all don't miss out on what's going on with me and Ernest right now through this journey to truth. Yeah, so that's why I'm on here tonight. But yeah, I have been at a higher vibrational for a while, actually. I would say probably about 3 months strong. This is strong conscious moving. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. That is so sweet. Dina says, wow, I had an experience years ago while praying in anguish. I could literally feel an unseen person sit down next to me. It was different from other unseen beings. I knew this person was helping me. That's powerful. That is powerful, sister. Oh, I just love it. I love it. Okay, here we go. Oh, he's Eliot, you said you love my answer. Elliot, you love my answer. That's awesome. The staff turned to a larger serpent, says Dina. The medicine symbol for doctors is the serpent. But why is the serpent referred to as Satan? This is the point that I'm getting to now. Okay. And yes, y'all correct. It was Moses with the staff. Now, the staff, I asked this question for years. The reason a serpent staff was chosen to do these great works, you'll never guess, is because this knowledge is, this is what you call Gnosticism, okay? So it's like hidden knowledge. It's never on the surface. It's for people who's willing to look deeper than the surface. People who are willing to let go of their ego, trying to hold on to old beliefs, and are willing to strip down naked to find the truth. That's who hidden knowledge belongs to. It's ours. It's ours. And we have been ripped away from our roots, so we don't know that it's ours. But it's ours, okay? The serpent was used because the serpent means knowledge, wisdom, power. The serpent represents all of that. You can also say that the serpent represents us as a melanated people. Again, the connection between Nagas and niggas. You know, this is why they're fighting so hard to make that word be considered a hate speech if you use it. They know the origins of nigga, but they not gonna tell you. And they also don't want us using it because they can't use it. So see, they usually take people's stuff and make it theirs, right? They took that word. It was never a bad thing. Kemet means black. Niger, nigger, Niger, nigga. All the same thing depending on what language you're speaking and what country you're in. That word, they took it from us, used it in a negative way. And like the awesome gods and goddesses we are, what do? We rose from the dirt and we took that term back. And we use that term as a doting term with each other. They don't like that finally, we have something that they can't take away from us. That's what the whole controversy about saying nigga is about. That's what it's about. It's not a low vibrational word. It's not a negative word. It was negative the way they used it, but it's not negative when we use it to each other. Nobody's protesting redneck. Nobody's protesting any of the things that they call each other, right? And so we finally have something that's ours. It was taken away from us and we took it back, right? And made it better and made it positive. They don't like that. See, that's alchemy, people. Alchemy means you take your situation and you make it better. That's what it means to be an alchemist. It has nothing to do with being in a laboratory with a bunch of chemicals. It's all of the chemical properties, the DNA within your own body, and what you can use it for, what you can do with it. That's true alchemy. And that is our roots. That is how you turn base metal into gold. That's where we come from. We have been at the bottom. We have been at the base. But guess what? We're becoming solid gold. Do you hear me? You remember those Jerry Curl commercials and stuff, solid gold, and they would spray the stuff and the gold would be shimmering and shining. They have a halo around their Jerry Curl. Y'all remember all that stuff? Those people were woke back then, and they were trying to wake us up. And look what happened. They took all of those commercials off of the TV. You see that? You see how they do? There have been people who've been secretly trying to tell us this. Earth Wind been trying to tell us this for I don't know how long. And I could name a million others. Odyssey. Go back and listen to Odyssey. Go back and listen to Earth, Wind, and Fire. They've been trying to tell us. Go back and listen to even Michael Jackson and Prince. You know, they were trying to tell us. When Prince was singing about Purple Rain, that's the crown. That's the crown. That's your crown consciousness. The color of it is purple because that's a high vibration color. That color also represents royalty. And he was saying to let that reign, to let that higher vibration reign. See, they had to talk in parables and stuff because they can't just be straight out with it or they would have been dead before they can get the song out, right? So they have to be smart about it. Michael Jackson been trying to tell us. What Michael Jackson did, do you remember the time and he was showing a black woman and a black man as an Egyptian queen and king? He was trying to tell us, do you remember? You know, it was like an inside message in that. The man in the mirror. He was trying to tell us. When Kanye West started doing all of his videos with the Egyptology stuff, he was trying to tell us. Matter of fact, you know what? Hold me to this, y'all, because sometimes I'm streaming and channeling information so fast and I don't remember what I said. Please hold me to this. I'm going to do a video breakdown of Kanye West's Fame video and one other video he did. I can't remember the name of it, but I'm going to do a video decoded on Kanye West, and it is going to be the shiznit. It's going to be mind-blowing. It is so good. I hadn't even finished writing it yet, but I'm probably just going to stream it live and just let it come through pure with clarity for you. because Kanye was trying to tell us as well. And look what happens to him. See, Kanye, his net worth is too high for them to just kill him like they did Pimp C and a lot of other people. They knew they weren't going to be able to get him like that because he's smart. You know, he eat what he know he should. He's careful about the people who are around him, all of those things. So it's going to be difficult for them to get to him. But the way they did it was they knew eventually he would have another episode where he gonna be exposing a lot of stuff, right? They knew it was coming. They deal with mediums and stuff. They do astrology and watch the stars. They deal with orishas and all kinds of deities and stuff. That's how they stay 50 steps ahead of us. This is why we're still at the bottom. Because the tools that work, that our ancestors created, actually work. And we're not using them because we think they're demonic. But the people who control us and rule us and have us trapped in this matrix, they're using it to keep us trapped in the matrix. So you do the math. What we've been doing ain't working. So it's time to go back to our roots. Even in the movie Black Panther, they let you know real power exists with your ancestors. Ritual, ceremonies, their ways of living, raising children, and how they ate, how creative they were, how the things that they build. They don't want us to start building pyramids again. This old little raggedy stuff they built, we can build something so great if we would just come together in oneness, in a higher vibration, supporting each other, holding each other up. You know, I didn't mean to get off into a rant, but that needs to happen. I'm gonna do that. So if I forget to do it, or if a week goes by and I hadn't done it yet, just hit me up and maybe I'm like, look, Sister Cam, now you told us you was gonna do the Kanye Decoded, and I'm ready for it. What's happening? And I'll make sure I get it done. Okay. So somebody jot that down to remind me of that. But I want to say, so they end up lobotomizing him so that we would not know the truth. Because remember the last video, the last big performance he did, he would always have a chain with either Het Heru or Amhotep or Tutmos. He would have one of the pharaohs or something on him, on his shows. We thought he was going crazy because that's what they wanted us to think, right? Me included. But if you didn't see the video I did about the Kanye West breakdown, please, please, please go watch it after this as well. Because I can't rehash that whole thing right now, but it's really good. And you're probably going to end up taking notes because a lot of those things are spiritual things that apply all the way across the board. Babe, you still up here? Yeah. So back to what I was saying. So meditation, you got to do that, okay? And I make sure that as soon as we get off of here, I'm going to put the meditation I've been using in the description box under the video, okay? I'm not going to use the email list for that. I'm just going to put it there so it's be easy to find for everybody. Am I missing something? Let me see. Was it a question I didn't answer? If it was something I didn't answer. Oh, let me finish with the staff. So the serpent, the staff, yeah, exactly. It's everything hidden in plain sight. It's so true. In your speech, you want to say that the serpent did create the world. Since this is so new to me, where should I start from? Okay, Vishal, you should start from, let's see, we began with studying the metaphysics of the Bible by Dr. Bay, Brother Panic, Brother Jabari, and Walter Williams. Also, Dr. Ben Johanna, I'm sorry. Those are some names. I tell you what, I'll make it easier. I have a playlist on my YouTube. The name of the playlist is Truth Behind Christianity. I have placed everything throughout the whole journey in that one playlist. So just go to that playlist and just pick whatever you need and watch them, okay? That's where you start. I wanted to make sure that I had stuff available, resources for you all when you got ready to study a little deeper. So I hope that is a solution to you not quite knowing where to begin. Okay, the staff is in Great Britain in a documentary on YouTube. Oh, thank you, Elliot. I'm going to have to go check that out. Tell it like it is, so help me God. Thank you, peace and love. Okay. Okay. So Moses and the staff, parting the Red Sea, all of that. Look, all that was about was just letting you know that you have great abilities. Once you begin to understand who and what the serpent is and what it does and why it's at the base of our spine, once you get comfortable with knowing that that's part of your anatomy, go look at the spine, people. The spine doesn't look the way it used to. It looks like a serpent now, okay? And so the reason we were programmed to think the serpent was evil, to keep us from being able to vibrate at this higher level. They want to keep us at our base chakras, right? They don't want us to ever go above our genitals. That's why everything that they sell to us is with sex. Even the Disney movies we grew up on, it was sexual. Hidden penises, hidden breasts and vaginas, you know. The word sex when Lion King hit the dirt. That's intentional to keep us in that low vibration state, okay? So back to the staff, I'm going to hit on the chakras, and then if it was another question, I'll answer one more. So with the staff, that's you. That represents you, family. So as you meditate, eat right, and the other tips that I mentioned to you, get rid of the things that are low vibration from out of your atmosphere. As you begin doing that, cleaning out your body, detoxing your mind, deprogramming yourself, humbling yourself to be corrected in anything that you thought was true but wasn't. Once you start doing that, that gives the Kundalini the ability to raise. And so the Holy Spirit we were dealing with in church was actually a Kundalini spirit, but they changed the name and they kind of changed how it works. But it's still pretty much the same. I mean, the Kundalini spirit will even cause you to speak in foreign tongues, just as the Holy Spirit would. There are a lot of similarities. So it's a name game where they change the names of something and then they make it hard to find the origins of that thing. And so, yes, there's nothing evil about that at all. And look, if you're still struggling about the serpent thing, think about this. How many times have a loved one or even you went to the pharmacy, went to the doctor, rode in the ambulance, saw the two serpents, and you had no problem with it, right? Right? And so you have to look at it that way, like they're using it. If it was so demonic and low vibrational, it wouldn't work. It would go against, you know? And if that physician was able to help you with your blood pressure or your mom or whatever was going on, if it worked and he had two serpents on his robe, you know, on those things that they wear, his gown, robe, whatever, then that means it's obviously it's not something wrong with it, you know. So there's a huge spider and I'm finna kill him. Hold on, y'all. I don't like bugs in the house. I'm sorry, spider, but you came in the wrong home. I'll catch you and throw you back out. Don't run. You too. Okay. Let me wash my hands. Y'all excuse my kitchen. It's been a hectic week. I'll get to them dishes eventually. Oh, and if you all wonder how I killed a spider, I just used diatomaceous earth. This is the product I'm going to show you that I use. Yeah, this kills bugs, okay? And because of it has silica in it, it's very old. It's been on the earth since earth has been here. And it's basically silica that comes out of the earth. It's very good for you. I never had any side effects. It cleans out your colon and it will also kill parasites in the body the same way it just killed that spider. If I would have put just a little on him, it would have killed the spider and I could have took him outside, but it's cold outside. I'm not going to be doing that tonight. Yeah, so you don't have to use chemicals, people, to deal with pests. So that's a tip right there. I didn't even know I was going to share. So yeah, the staff is not evil, people. Kundalini spirit is not evil, people. Just do your research and come to your own conclusions. Let's see. What else we got? Okay, if you want to start with the Hebrew alphabet, and second read Torah. Do never read Bible, which is the book of Satan. Okay, they love to promote those tools as evil. I will make more time to go and watch these videos. I've been thrown a lot of distractions. Yeah, Derek, I know. That's what I have been feeling in my soul about you, and that's why I have been praying specifically like I have been praying for you. Oh, Vishal, yes, thank you. Thank you. Watch You Are Exiles. Okay, thank you, Maul G. I'm going to take a screenshot of that so I can make sure that I watch that. Okay. So I think we're kind of on the same page at this point as to where we are in our studies, what it is we're believing in. What is that? I know that ain't no mosquito. You better get away from me. Y'all, we got mosquitoes in the house. Oh, Lord. I can't do no mosquitoes. I know I got something for that too. I ain't got it up here, but this grapefruit juice would work just fine. You know, mosquitoes hate anything citrusy. Don't come back over here. I'm allergic to mosquitoes too, y'all. So I know it might not seem like a big deal, but I'm making a big deal about it because I'm allergic to them. Yeah, so I hope I gave y'all some good information to begin with. Go watch that playlist. That playlist probably has 1,000 videos in it. I also have a playlist called Yisrael, Y in front of Israel. And that playlist I made when I got a little bit deeper into all of the rules for the Torah. And, yeah, he trying to come back over here. Don't come back over here. The rules of the Torah, me and my husband, my whole family actually, we followed that for almost 2 years. Yeah, I'll say for about 2 years we followed that. And like I said, it was something off. It felt like it was something missing. And what really did it for me when I started to see the gang-like behavior in the Hebrew Israelite movement, from their flag color to their block, to how everything about them. Look at gangs, look at the Hebrew Israelite camps, and you tell me how many similarities you see. Now, let's just say out of 20 things, 18 of them are similar. Something is wrong there. So you have to say, okay, what's going on here? Something is wrong here. And then just pray. Just pray, meditate, eat right, and that will be given to you. All you have to do is ask for it. Knowledge is abounding much in the last days. This is a beautiful time to live in. And that leads me to the last note that I wanted to say to you. In the book of Revelations, we still read the book of Revelations. It talks about the 7 churches in the book of Revelations. For any of you who are still a little bit uncomfortable or don't quite understand what I've been saying about the chakras, the book of Revelations talks about the 7 churches because the 7 churches represents the 7 chakras, just as the 12 disciples represent the 12 zodiacs, okay? And Jesus, being the Son, S-O-N, also is the Son, S-U-N, in which the 12 zodiacs revolve around, right? And so that's all it was. It's just astrotheology is what it's called. There are a lot of metaphysics in the Bible. Even Jesus talked about the third eye, you know. He says, what good does it do when you find out that the light you have is really darkness? When your eye is dark. He didn't say eyes. He says when your eye is darkened, right? So Jesus talked about these things. It's just that it takes a certain vibration and to follow certain, rules to be able to discern the information. And I have told you how to do that here. I didn't want this to be an hour-long video, but I never want to leave you all and not have answered everything as best as I could. The other thing, the 7 churches is the 7 chakras, okay? The abyss in the book of Revelations is actually the abyss that's within us, just as the kingdom of heaven is within us. So that would be the chakras below the belt, okay? These are the root, the base chakras, okay? That's called the abyss. There are actual pictures you can pull up that shows. Matter of fact, I think I might have one here. Let me show you this picture. Then I'm going to show you all the toothpaste and the crystals, and we can wrap it up. Okay, 1 second. Okay, let's see. Hold on, y'all. It's not gonna let me do it that way. Let me do it here. Okay. Now we're cooking with some grease. Okay, here's the spine. It'd be nice if it would let me show it to you. They always do this to me. I'm going to use mine. Let's try that. Okay. Here we go. I want you all to see the spine. Okay, here we go. Can you all see this? The spine? Here's the spine. Now, I went to school for nursing. I loved anatomy. And I'm almost positive the spine did not look like this. It looks different. And that's a whole other video to get into as to why it looks different. But it looks more like a snake than ever before. Even all the way down to the base of the spine that has this new point on it that kind of reminds me of how the cobra tail is made. Or it kind of reminds me this little spike. Y'all see this spike at the bottom? The spike right there, the anterior view of the spine. And the spike at the bottom they call the cox. The cox or coccyx, the coccyx, okay, whatever. But I don't remember it looking like that. Maybe you all remember it looking like that. I don't. Even with the right here, it just like the face of a snake, you know. It just does. And when you scroll in closer and have a look here, right here, this kind of looks like the Baphomet, or some type of horned goat or something. So I see a lot of stuff when I look at this. But again, so the whole Jesus thing was just us being able to go from our root chakras to our crown chakra. Okay? That's all that was ever supposed to be. So let me take that off of here. And let's see. I think I have one other picture to show you. I hope y'all enjoying this. I think I mentioned it. Y'all, I got so many things to show you all that I've been saving. So much information I've been saving. And I'm going to put the meditation in the description. Okay, so this is what we're using now. We're using this as our new logo. And the reason we're using this as our logo, I want to get into that. I know I kind of skipped around a little bit. But everything that I talked about here is going to be in the Truth Behind Christianity playlist and the Yisrael Teachings playlist, okay? But we use this because the Ankh simply is a symbol that represents life, okay? The round part of the Ankh represents the womb of the woman. And the Creator was actually what you would call a feminine energy that brought us into existence. So let's stop thinking about people, okay? And think more of energy, a type of energy. So creation energy, everyone knows that the woman holds the creation energy. The woman is the only one who's able to create from her womb a man and a girl, a boy and a girl. That is a characteristics of a goddess that two different sexes are able to come through our womb. So that means that the woman's womb is a very sacred thing. It's a very sacred place. It is a place of creation. It is a place that should be respected, honored, and adored. And we see the complete opposite happening. And this is why a lot of people like Snoop Dogg and a lot of rappers and stuff to dog women, because it keeps the womb wounded. Okay, it keeps trauma in the womb, and the black woman has a lot of trauma in her womb, passed down generationally, okay, and has never been dealt with. And I'm working on that too. I want to be able to present some things to women who would like to begin healing their womb trauma and the womb trauma of their mothers and their mothers' mothers. And even you guys, when you pass through a womb, that trauma, whatever trauma experienced in your bloodline, affects you as well. Okay. So that's why we're using this. Now, the reason we are holding it like we're holding it like a magnifying glass to let you know that we are studying everything under a magnifying glass. We are not taking anything at face value. We're not going to believe anything because someone else said it and people think that this person is just so accurate. We're going to look everything over ourselves, and we put the eye right here. People say it's the eye of Horus, but it's really the eye of Het Heru. And this is for protection, just to remind us that there are spirits and spirit guides protecting us. And that's the last point I was supposed to get on. So that's why we're using that as our new logo, people. Just wanted you all to see that. Okay, now someone asked a question about the spirit guides. So spirit guides can be your archangels. Spirit guides can be a baby that died or miscarried or even abortion, a baby that you did not bring into this world. Spirit guides could be loved ones who passed on, and they're just connected to you. You all have a soul tie because you were close, and so that can be a spirit guide as well. This would be the voice. Let's just say she was really good with cooking. This would be the voice when you got a sick baby and you don't know what to do. You can give them the medicine. They're not getting better. The doctors want to pump them up with antibiotics, but the antibiotics making the baby sick. This is when you all of a sudden get the idea. Go in that kitchen and get that baby some honey and some lemon and boil it. Sprinkle a little cinnamon in it. Mix it up. That's going to heat the baby body up. The lemon is going to alkaline the baby's body. Use purified and ionized water that's going to help bring the acidity level down in the baby to get rid of the fever, and your baby will get well. And the honey is going to coat the baby's throat so the baby isn't crying all night because the baby's throat is sore. That may be one of your spirit guides, someone in your family who was really good with home remedies or really good in the kitchen. That's her energy coming through you. We have to realize that all of our ancestors are still inside of us. The genetic coding of our ancestors, even though they've died and passed on, their genetic coding is still within you. And so the meditation, the eating right, all of those things, what it is doing is the part of our DNA that has been trapped in the matrix is now being set free as we come out of the programming, as we realize reality is a simulation. Nothing that you see is real. I'll keep it simple. The burgers that you see on TV are not really burgers. The rice at Chinese food places isn't really rice. It's made out of plastic. The cabbage that you see at Walmart isn't really cabbage. It's made from plastic. I can go on and on. Nothing is what it seems, okay? And so this is just being able to look at things with a discerning eye with the help of spirit guides. And you can just ask them to help you. Whatever it is, just, I need help with this. You know what I'm saying? You're going through something. I call on my ancestors. Can y'all help me? It may be a particular ancestor or someone you know, a distant relative who's passed on that you feel would have given you really good advice and they're not here anymore. Well, you can still call on them for help because energy exists eternally. So they don't have a mouth. No. They probably don't have a phone. No. But they're in the ethereal realm, which means they're no longer bound by time and space. They're no longer trapped in the matrix. So they can communicate with us, but we have to initiate the communication because there are rules in the spirit realm. And so you won't feel violated, because if you wake up and your aunt that passed away and came to you in a dream or something, it's kind of like, ugh, I really didn't want to dream that. So you can just say, hey, listen, I need some help. Just whatever your boundaries are. I need some help from a spirit guide. I don't need everybody. But I believe right now my granddaddy would have given me really good advice. Granddad, I offer myself for you to come to me in a dream and help me to get through this very difficult time in my life. I need your advice. And hopefully he'll come to you in a dream. Usually pretty soon. It's usually a really quick turnaround, and it's amazing. It's so amazing, and it's refreshing. And that was one of the hypocritical things about religion and church Christianity and the Hebrew Israelite movement. It's like, okay, you're saying this soul lives forever, right? You're saying we're eternal and we just leave the body, right? So why, when we leave the body, all of a sudden, if we reach out to our family, you got them thinking we're a demon? See, that's the trickery. You better believe the most wealthy people in the world, the most intelligent people in the world, the geniuses, the people who own these companies, a lot of them are really smart people. This is how they got there. By using metaphysics, by knowing how to allow their grandma or whoever to assist them in making decisions. You can look at testimonies of people who created big business, and they'll always say things like, I had a dream. My grandfather came to me in a dream and told me to open a restaurant. Now we got McDonald's on every block, even though you shouldn't eat that. But still, it's just an example. So all of the things that really help us and are powerful and can help us get out of the matrix, those things have been demonized. And by them demonizing those things, by them demonizing ancient Egypt, by them demonizing Kemet, by them demonizing African cultures, cultures of the Philippines, the culture of the Moors in Spain. After they demonize all of those things, what do you have left to use? The tools that they upgraded, downgraded. You feel me? Yeah. So the tools that are in the Bible is kind of like a watered down version, because you're not getting it as it really is. They made it where you're really going to have to dig to get the truth. But that's why you have people like me and my husband who have committed ourselves to being the bridge to the truth. And it's going to be a long journey. We've always told you all this. It's going to be an uncomfortable journey. There are times where you're probably not going to trust anything we're saying, and that's okay. For so long, leaders have stood in front of us all and made us feel as if we have to believe every single thing that they're saying. Or if we don't, we'll go to hell if we don't repent, right? And that's not right. That's not right, because everybody's spiritual path is according to their DNA, generational curses, what's happening in their life, their children, their personality, when they were born, who's their guardian angel, who are their ancestors. Are you of Egyptian descendant? Are you of Native American descendant? You know, just all of that. They took everything away from us and use it to be successful, but then don't allow us to use it by making us fear it or feel like it's deep demonic. Okay, this was so clever. So if you haven't watched the Black Panther Decoded, I don't think I put any tags in there lately. I just hadn't been doing all of that. Go and watch Black Panther Decoded as well, because I go deeper and I give some details as to how to connect to your ancestors. I give a lot more details there. And personally, I love Red Pill and Blue Pill and their brothers, Decoded of the Black Panther. There are a couple of others I really like, but personally, I like mine's better, because I'm not being prideful or anything about it, but it came to me. The reason why I say this, before I went to see Black Panther, in my second meditation, a Black Panther came to me. This was, I didn't even really, the movie wasn't even on my radar at that point. And I did the exact same meditation as before, but this time a Black Panther came to me. And she was very short. She didn't have a whole lot to say to me. And my question to her was, what do I need to do spiritually? What is my purpose? Am I on the right path? I need your help. Because they have been cutting out medications and stuff that I've been taking my whole life. This is what they're doing. And it's so cruel. People need time to slowly wean themselves off medications. And, you know, the medical field, they know this. They knew that those medications were addictive before they gave them to us. They just didn't tell us that. We were lied to. So I'm a victim in this situation. I'm a victim of injustice in this situation. Thankfully, because of the advice from her and tribal leader, I have been able to take 75% less medication when I'm in pain than before. And so I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful for that. Oh my goodness, because I want to be able to help people. And I can't help people if I'm in excruciating pain every day, right? And so I'm just so grateful for the things that I'm getting. I probably could have been healed a long time ago if I had not been calling on Jesus for healing, but actually realizing that I am a goddess and I create life. I give life. That I speak the power of life and death in my words. So all of those things prove to me. I speak those things that be not as though they are. I walk by faith and not by sight. Right? I should have been using that and applying those things. And now I am. Now I am. And I'm seeing results. And I want the world to be able to experience true healing. Not just physical, emotional, mental, everything. We have been traumatized and victimized, neglected, abandoned, and abused. We have been kidnapped from our ancestors and from our culture, from our way of life, from our diet, and we are dying because of it. Everything they took away from us, they gave us something in its place that wasn't good for us. They took away our spirituality, and they gave us a European man's spirituality, and it's not working for us. It wasn't working then. You better believe they were singing way in the water, children. They were singing all of that. Swing Low Cherry, all of those old hymns. But they were still slaves. But we are still in a system of white supremacy. So those things, my friends, will not be the tools to give us a key to unlock the matrix. What I am teaching you tonight is what is going to do that for us. And we do need our spirit guides. Back to the Black Panther. It came to me and it said to me, yes, you're going to need help. You're going to need protection for what you're about to do, because you are embarking on something that was not supposed to ever happen. This was hidden from your people for a purpose. Now that you have the knowledge to understand and discern gnosis, now that you are gaining knowledge to heal naturally, you're going to need protection. And yes, I will protect you. That's all that was said. I looked up Black Panther and I saw something about totem animals, spirit guides that are animals. They call them totem animals. I looked up all of the things about the Black Panther and my mouth was just laying open because everything resonated with me. That was a very real thing. And so when I went to see the movie Black Panther, I was blown away that my first 3 meditations were in that movie. Exactly as it happened in my meditation, it played on the silver screen, almost as if my meditations helped write the movie. That's how powerful, that's how infinite this wisdom is of metaphysics and the ways of our ancestors. So I hope this was a blessing to you all. Again, if you need any of the products, just inbox me and let me know. Let me show you some of the crystals we have. We have this crystal right here. This is a rose quartz crystal. Okay. And rose quartz is really good for people who are wanting to walk in love. This crystal, the metaphysical properties of this crystal, it assists you in making decisions that are going to increase agape love in your life. That's all it is. It's kind of like a battery for you. It's just some extra energy to pull from when you need it. And if you need to, if you like one, we will tell you how to clean them. We will tell you when they need to be cleaned, because they have to be cleaned just like we do. And sometimes the crystals are taking in a lot of negative energy that's around you. And so you just clean them with some salt water, put it in the sunlight, recharge it, put it on, and just speak to it. You know, crystal, thank you for helping me. I purchased you to help me walk in love. Thank you for taking the negativity from around me into your own self. And that's just what it is. That is a living thing, and it was created just like we were. And the really beautiful thing about it, crystals, gems, stones, diamonds, the way they are created is exactly how a spiritually minded person is created, with adversity, with pressure, with years of being buried under dirt, trying to see the light. And so that's why these crystals are so important. And for those of you who are still resonating with the Hebrew Israelite thing, or maybe, maybe even church, I just want to say that these same stones were used on the breastplate, okay, of the 12 tribes of Israel. The priests wore stones on their breastplate to represent each tribe. And later I'll get into the reason for that. It's kind of a lot like the 7 churches being the 7 chakras. It's a lot like that. So it's nothing demonic about this, okay? Here's one other that we have. This is the amethyst. Can you all see this? This is the amethyst. And this crystal is really good. I call it a master crystal because it literally does everything. It's like the coconut oil in the house. It's good for everything, That's the amethyst. And these are really good crystals to start working with before you get to the more complicated ones like Herkimer diamond, malachite, lapis lazuli. Matter of fact, I just sold the lapis lazuli that we had, but I'm going to order some more. If anybody wants a lapis lazuli, let me know. Let me show you what the lapis lazuli looks like. Oh, yeah, and here's the toothpaste. It's all natural. Here's the toothpaste. It's all natural. I'm going to show you all what all I put in my toothpaste. Let's go back here. Okay. Okay. So I use the coconut oil. It's organic coconut oil. I use diatomaceous earth. It's spelled Diatemeous. Diatomaceous. Maceous. Just like it sounds. It's not hard to find. Just type in food grade diatomaceous earth and it should come up. And just make sure it looks like this before you start using it, so you know you got the you got the right stuff. Okay. Now, I also use baking soda, sodium bicarbonate, but notice this one is aluminum free. And so, because we're trying to detox from the metals, the heavy metals and the aluminum and the mercury. We got the fillings in our mouth, the silver caps in our mouths. Those had mercury in them as well. So we all need this. And I also use oil of oregano in it. And the oil of oregano, this one has carvacrol. Yeah, carvacrol, 80%. And that is what makes it antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral. It is all 3. Everything that antibiotics by the pharmaceutical company can't do, this can do. It has many other uses. But I put this in the toothpaste because it's going to kill germs. Just like the coconut oil is antibiotic, a natural antibiotic, antiviral, antifungal as well, and antibacterial. Okay? And so you got 2 different things that are going to fight germs in your mouth. And then I use colloidal silver, sovereign silver. And this is also a natural antibiotic. It's really good for your immune system. It's expensive. Not gonna lie, it's really expensive. Eventually, hopefully I'll make enough money off these things and I can purchase the machine to make my own colloidal silver. That's the gold here. Because I would like for everyone to be able to get it. But it's been costing me a lot of money just perfecting the recipes and everything. So yes, if you would like any of the things that I mentioned, just inbox us, cam2479@gmail.com. That's KHAM2479@gmail.com. And we will get the toothpaste out to you and your crystals. Now let me let you see the picture of the lapis lazuli. I didn't forget. Yay, I'm so proud of myself because usually I would have forgot. Let's see. Here it is. This is a lapis lazuli right here. You can see that. That's a lapis lazuli. It's a very beautiful stone. It's like this indigo blue, and that's my favorite color, blue. Indigo, the color indigo represents the third eye, right? And so the color indigo, because violet is the crown chakra, and indigo represents the third eye chakra area. Okay, and so when you're working with stones that are certain colors, whatever color chakra feel like you need to work on, then you want to get a stone that is the same color as that chakra or close to it, because that stone automatically is going to resonate with that particular energy that you're wanting to work with. So let's say you have a problem watching porn, or you keep having sex with someone and you don't feel like it's a beneficial relationship to be in. Little things like that. Well, the rose quartz is really good for you. Pink is a very metaphysically powerful color. Let's just say you want to be able to feel comfortable with your voice, feel comfortable communicating things that you know your family and most people would think is crazy and would receive, where you want to get a stone that's in the family of green, because green is the color, I'm sorry, not green, sorry, actually the indigo color. It's really good for communication. Okay, so the throat chakra, that's any blues, okay, even some of the bluish green stones. So that's really good for that. Now the heart chakra, the color is green. So if you're feeling like you need to strengthen yourself, strengthen your heart, you feel like lately you just haven't really been as heartfelt as you would like to be. You feel like some of the stuff you're going through in life has kind of made you a little too hard. Then you will get a stone that's green, and it will help you with your heart chakra to get that energy more balanced. Okay. Alrighty. So, I think that's it. Let me see. Was there any more questions? Let's see. Let me read a couple. Praise Yah forever, Yah. Hebrews, the harvest is near. Hi, Yah. I don't know if you heard what I had to say. You might want to rewind it and check it out. Damn, what non-believers think that time has come. Wake up or stay asleep. Following watchers, kids, aka while Asian, Hispanic, Arab, etc. All non-melanated men are the beasts. Period. Yah, wrath, vengeance, fire, death will destroy all fallen watchers, and its kids, the potters, did not have permission to form its clay. Yah, truth, Yah, word. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that, and thank you for being on here with me for so long. You know, I didn't know how you all would receive me. I didn't even know if anybody would watch this. So if this was beneficial for you, if this even just got the wheels spinning again, you know, the Helios Biblios, the Sun book, it teaches us about embers and how sometimes the fire is going out, and so you need another ember that's lit to reignite you, right? The Bible talks about 2 or 3 gathering, and he'll be in the midst, right? Fellowship is very important, and so forgive us for not having fellowship with you all as much, but we know that we will be held accountable for every single thing that we present to you all, and we go over things over and over and over, away from confirmation, from dreams, from any source, before we present that information to you. So yes, our videos are taking a little longer to happen, but we are working every day. You are on our minds and our hearts. This is not just for us. We never ask for money on here. We don't even ask for donations on here. The whole time y'all been studying with us, we haven't asked for anything, because that's not what it's about. That's not what it's about. And if you want to distance yourself from all of the terrible, defiled things within this matrix, these things, it's just what you have to do. And it's not going to be an easy road, but we will be here every step of the way to help you discern things, to even help you ask questions you've probably never asked before. And questions, and we may have answers for a lot of your questions. So email us if there are some questions you have after watching this, or maybe after going through the playlist that I mentioned, and I'm going to put all of that up under the video in the description box. If you have any questions or concerns, or maybe a dream you had you don't quite understand, just email it to us, and I will do my best to interpret your dream and reply to you. And Ernest, he's helping me too, but he's asleep right now. Relationship stuff, it don't matter what it is, nothing is off limits. You all can talk to us about anything. We really mean that. You all are family. We mean that. We address you as family because you are. And we believe that we have been put in this position to be the bridge out of error and into truth. And so that's what Remnant's Gathering is about. Thank you for the videos you all share with us. We watch every single one of them, and we use that information in our studies as well. So we're not here to act like we're the masters and you all are the little grasshoppers. We can all help each other. Just remember to be loving to each other, to not be cruel to each other. Even in all of this, I'm not judgmental of people who are still practicing religion, of people who are still dealing with Hebrew Israelite teachings or camps. We don't look down on them. We don't judge them or anything, because see, that's what got us in this mess as well. We got to stop doing that. We got to stop. It's arrogant to say my path is right and your path is wrong. That's arrogance. That has nothing to do with righteousness. That has nothing to do with holiness. It has nothing to do with wisdom. Wisdom says, if I can be of any assistance for you, let me know, I'm available. That's what wisdom says. You don't go around trying to force people into a new belief system because you feel theirs is wrong. Because a lot of times you'll find out years later that they were right about something, you know, or it can go the other way. And so there are some videos that I've done in the past where I feel like I owe an apology because I was too unlearned to interpret Gnostic teachings of Scripture. So, yeah, so it just takes humility, okay? So let's be honest with each other, speak the truth with love and humility, and that's going to help us all to grow and break up out of this matrix. Man, I am sick of it. I'm sick of being sick. I'm sick of being tired, and I'm tired of being sick, and I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. That's the kind of stuff my grandmama used to say. But it's true, I am, and I don't want to waste any time anymore. Because if I'm not fulfilling my purpose, if I'm not learning, changing, and growing, if I'm not going through a metamorphosis in this thing called life, what am I achieving? Working and making money and paying bills is not what we were put here for. And the only way that you're able to give back is that you're feeding on the right information. And that way you won't pass on error. But people have to be ready. And some people can't take this. I've spoken with some people and they was like, I'll watch your videos. I love you. You've always been pretty accurate. One of the most accurate prophets and people who have dreams and visions that I know on YouTube. But I can't walk away from my Jesus, or I can't walk away from Yeshua. I can't walk away from Ahia. I just can't believe that. Well, that's where they are. And if that's where you are, that's okay. But don't completely close your mind off to someone that you know for a fact truth has come through many times. It's just for you to do your own research and discern it and come to your own conclusions. If your conclusions change, that's a beautiful thing. That means that you're breaking out of the matrix. That means that you're breaking the programming. That means that you're learning a new way of spirituality. And that has been demonized. But there's nothing demonic about that. That's necessary for any spiritual person to become the person that they are supposed to be. So I have to say that and encourage you all in this. We're going to keep rocking together. The world is getting rougher by the day. Things are changing by the day. For people who receive EBT, Trump is now sending out boxes of jail, prison food. I'm so serious. He feels as if you shouldn't be able to pick your own food. So he's picking the foods to go in these boxes, and they're shipping them to families. And everything that's in the box is everything Dr. Sebi told us not to eat. Dr. Erit told us not to eat. Dr. Africa told us not to eat. Even the book of Leviticus told us not to eat. That's what's in those boxes, pure poison. And that is a system. That is a system to keep our pineal gland calcified, keep us afraid of the tools that our ancestors used that had true power. That's the whole agenda. So I hope this has been enlightening and encouraging. I can't wait to see your comments later. I'm sure this is going to be one of those videos you are going to play back. You know, I have certain videos where I have to watch several times because it was just so much that I was learning at one time, and just kind of pace myself. Yeah, so was there something else? I think that's it. So if there's anything I missed or any questions, just put it in my email. I love y'all. I could talk to you all night, but I need to get some sleep so I can get up in the morning. Peace, 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 blessings, love to you all, love to you all. Protection be with everyone, cover them. We call on all of the archangels to just keep all of us covered until we come together again. We ask that any spirit guides, any angels that we have not been acknowledging has been helping us, we are ready to acknowledge. We're ready to understand. We're ready to learn. So I just ask that you all make yourselves known and visible to them, where they can feel you. I'm not asking for an angel to pop up and be jumping in somebody's bed in the morning, but just to let your presence be felt. I don't know where they are, what they're going through right now, but I pray that whatever they are going through, that all of the help that they have, even the help they don't know they have, that it is dispersed in their direction when they need it to. I pray that everyone that watches this video, that all of the obstacles, the confusion, the trauma, the pain, just the pain of having to find out that everything you learned was misconstrued and you're having to relearn it, that can sometimes be stressful. That can be very traumatic. But beautiful things come out of darkness. The creation of the whole world came out of darkness. Light did not come first. Darkness hovered above the firmament and the earth. And out of that darkness came light. My prayer is that out of all of the dark things we have experienced, are experiencing, and may experience, that they are not the end of us, but that they are the beginning of us to actually be who we were created to be and fulfill our purpose with no more obstacles, no more anchors, no more concern what other people are going to think or feel about us. I pray that they have the courage and the strength to walk the true spiritual walk. This walk is a lonely walk. This walk is a difficult walk. This walk is so powerful, it was hidden from us for many, many years. We just want to thank you for bringing us back to the basics, bringing us back to the root, bringing us back to the ways of our ancestors so that we can actually find ourselves. And in studying history, true history, not whitewash history, and in studying true history, that we are all able to discern that information and know who we are without a shadow of a doubt, and that we are empowered and learn creative ways to teach our children the truth. Because a lot of us have children and we have raised them in things that we are now coming out of, and that can be confusing for children. So I pray that they have all the assistance that they need to do these things. It is so, it is so, it is so. All right, y'all. I hope this was a blessing. I love you all, and good night. Yeah. It's gonna get good, y'all. It's gonna listen. This is gonna be such a finale in the evolution of finding true spirituality. It's beautiful. It is so beautiful. We deserve this. We have been through a lot. We have, and we deserve the truth. So remind yourself of that as you're searching and reading and listening. Remember, you know what? I deserve the truth, and I reject anything that is not true. After you pray that prayer, meditate on that before you go into your studies, and the truth will make itself so plain to you. Okay? And what's true for you 10 years ago may not be true for you now. And what's true for you now may not be true from you a year from now. That's okay. As long as there's momentum, there's movement. You got to keep the spirit stirred up. Okay? And if you feel yourself going into a dormant stage, maybe from the lithium they spray in the chemtrails, or could be all of the high fructose corn syrup they put in everything. All of those things make us docile. But if you find yourself getting in a beta wave frequency, then you can always reach out to us, for prayer, whatever it is, maybe for a resource. But yes, that is our intention with you all. So for those of you who we no longer resonate with you, that's okay. If you have to leave from studying with us, we understand. We will miss you. And everything is going to be fine. We're just finding ourselves right now. That's all. Finding the truth. And it takes time, and you do have to be patient. It doesn't happen overnight. But if you can't do anything else, make sure that you're discerning the eyes of the people you are pulling information from. Okay? The eyes are the windows of the soul. And eyes can't lie. So, I hope my eyes look honest. I look so sleepy, so tired. But, yeah, those are our intentions. And so we love you all. And I'm going to put the links in the description. Check out the playlist. Okay? Good night.